Okay, we're here with Ogallala head coach Brent Bauer. Coach, obviously, you've had a good group of kids in your school to work with, and one of the best basketball teams right now in the state. But speak first on your year and kind of the program and kind of your outlook with Ogallala heading into 2023.
Well, we're really excited about our 2023 season. We have a good nucleus of some great skill players coming back. Some of the top skill players I think we've had since I've been there. We think we've done some good development on our offensive and defensive lines, which at the C1 level, that's where a lot of it's going to start right there. So we're pretty happy with where we are there. And we had some kids transfer in that we're excited about. But last year, we felt like we took some steps, battled some injuries at the end, as we all do. But we're really excited about 2023 and getting started with that.
Well, you've got one of the better athletes in Class C, Harry Caskey, great basketball player, great football player. He plays quarterback for you, but a lot of people like him as a tight end, maybe a linebacker, maybe an H-back. How versatile of an athlete is Harry Caskey?
Well, that can be summed up by saying there were games last season where he was our leading rusher, our leading passer, and our leading receiver. You tell me how many guys in the nation have done that. I think Harry is a kid. He's a plug-and-play kind of kid for us. And I think there's some positions where he can really shine. At times we've needed him at quarterback. He's a yes sir kind of guy. What's the team need? And that's what he's willing to do. If we needed him to play left tackle, he'd be the first one to do it. Great kid. Character-wise, I don't think you can find anybody better. I think that there's a lot of people that are kind of heavily sniffing him. But it's no secret he wants to be a Husker. I mean, I call him Herbie Husker when we're in the halls. But it's if I'm being frank and honest, it's time that the guys in Lincoln make a decision on him, because why you would not take a guy that bleeds Husker football, bleeds tradition and the passion that is that program. He comes from Ogallala to Lincoln almost every Saturday, unless I tell him, hey, I need you at film. So he's a kid that you're never going to have to worry about what he does when he's not in class or with the team. And he's a great promoter of programs and doing the right thing. Great family. So Harry's a guy that I think some of these the Wyomings and places probably aren't really pressing him hard, because everybody knows he wants to be at Nebraska. But he's a kid that we expect to have a great senior season on the football field, on the basketball court. Great track guy, great actor. He's a heck of a kid on our one-act teams. He's in our band. Every activity that you can do at Ogallala, he's been a part of. And he was a heck of a middle school wrestler. So he's a kid that just enjoys everything the high school life has to offer. He's going to enjoy everything the college life has to offer. And he's going to be a kid that wherever he ends up, and we're all hoping and praying that it's Lincoln, when he leaves Lincoln, he'll be a kid that leaves a tremendous legacy built on what his dad did. But he's going to be a kid that wherever he goes, he's going to bless that program immensely.
So last year I started out the year as a receiver, so I was looking to catch him deep, score some touchdowns there. But after a few games, I moved back to quarterback and really just help the offense to run the ball, and then obviously learn better to throw the ball too.
6'4", 220. So will you be the quarterback this year?
Yes, I will. Yes, I will.
And as far as college goes, are they talking more tight end, linebacker, H-back? I mean, because you're really truly more of an athlete for the college level. Where do you think you project the best?
Well, really, I was talking to Wyoming actually yesterday, and they were talking more like tight end, linebacker, even DN possibly. So a lot of comparisons there, and they just say, go to camps at those positions and then obviously come back to high school being quarterback and trying to be the best on my team.
And you're a good basketball player, too, on an undefeated team that's contending for the Class C title. Mm-hmm. Talk about your basketball season. How many points, rebounds a game you're putting up right now?
Well, I don't like to brag about the stats. Stats are for losers, as our coach says. But 23-0 is nice, and we're heading into districts now. We're number 2 in the state, actually, too. So just looking to compete, get back to state, and try to make a run, But basketball, probably averaging 10 or so points, 10 or so rebounds, just doing my part to get us some dubs.
Well, I know you played against Carter Nelson, and Nebraska's coaches happened to be at that game. And I mean, you were on Nebraska's radar. Did you, after you played basketball, did you have any more contact with the new Nebraska staff?
Not really, no. But I've been trying to reach out to all their coaches. I have a few of them in my phone too. Just having Coach roll your game is pretty amazing too, even for Carter, who has a lot of coaches at his games too.
Because the previous Nebraska staff was very close to offering you, and you're still kind of waiting to get that first offer. Mm-hmm. Where are you at in the recruiting process?
Well, really, like I said, I just talked to Wyoming last night, and they're wanting me to come to camp and show what I can do, but they're pretty close. And then I was talking to Air Force this week, too, so that's another big one in my phone. But like I said, Nebraska's the dream school. You know, if you go down to my house or basement, you can see my all Nebraska stuff in my room. So, and looking at my dad's jersey too, that's really big. So Nebraska's definitely fun to look at.
And your dad played at Nebraska, right? 91 and 94?
Yep.
Was he an O-lineman?
O-lineman, left tackles. Backed up guys like Zach Wiegert and stuff all the time. Otherwise, I think he'd be pretty good. So.
He's got some good teams he played for.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
What's he tell you about just what it takes to play at that level?
Really, just all of his teammates. I don't know. He doesn't talk about it that much, but like all of his teammates say, you know, he's the hardest working guy they've ever played with, hardest Husker, probably most underrated Husker too. So I just try to reflect that in my play and be humble and try to get my teammates involved the same myself too.
And the previous Nebraska staff was very close, right?
Yes.
I actually thought it was going to happen at one point or another, and it never came through for whatever odd reasons.
Yeah, I don't know
so
either.
Now it's kind of starting from square one, and he's at a position like tight end where we know there's pretty good tight end right now in the state of Nebraska. So I'm sure there's just a lot of variables that he's got to kind of have to figure out.
He's just a kid I think you're going to want in your program, you know, and you know, if you wanted to take a shot at him at quarterback, and the thing I've said is I think he's Nebraska's version of Tim Tebow, an in-state kid that's just, if that's where you're going to put him, he's going to get really, really good at it. He's gotten really good at that position for us. Wherever you put him, you give him a year to play that position at the level you want him to play it at, he'll get there. So if it's tight end, I think he's a heck of a wide receiver. If it's running back, if it's on the defensive side of the ball, wherever it is, you're going to get a player that after about a year, he's going to be impacting your program and impacting your games.
And then Mario Bush, another guy, a real versatile athlete for you. Just speak on Mario and what he's done for your program.
Mario's a kid that just loves football, and he's a kid that pretty consistent running back for us. We've got some goals we've got set up for him for this offseason to improve on. Tough kid. Another kid that I think is a really good kid to have on your team. Comes from kind of a dynamic background, big smile, just a kid that you love being around. And we want to fill our program with the type of kids you want to be around because you're around them a lot. And so Mario's just a good piece on our team, and then we're hoping that somebody takes a chance on him after he's done with us as well.
I thought it was a really successful year so far. Maybe not the record we wanted, but the things we accomplished throughout the year and just being a part of a really good team. It was a really good season.
How do they utilize you?
They utilize me as a running back fullback. I'm mainly a blocker. I block for Harry, anyone. I can catch the ball, I can run the ball. They use me on the defensive side as a middle linebacker. I can cover the back, I can cover a receiver. Use me all over.
Yeah, and you've got pretty good, I mean, your bench is 280.
Yeah,
and so
yes, sir.
It looks like you put a lot of time in the weight room for a guy.
do.
I mean, you're, 180 and you bench 280, so obviously strength is a big part of your game.
Yeah, that is true.
What, as far as where you project, I mean, when you talk about college, what do you think? When you play football at the next level, where do you project?
I think anywhere. I'm one of the hardest working individuals I know. I think that any school that will give me an opportunity, I can succeed in, no matter what the division is.